Judge throws out Drake's defamation case against UMG over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, and the reasoning might surprise you. October 9th, 2025. In a move that's sending shockwaves through the music industry, a federal judge has officially shut down Drake's explosive defamation lawsuit. But here's where it gets controversial. The court essentially ruled that nobody actually believed Kendrick was making factual claims when he called Drake a pedophile. On Thursday, October 9th, Judge Jeanette Vargas brought the curtain down on Drake's legal battle against Universal Music Group concerning Kendrick Lamar's blistering track, Not Like Us. Her verdict? The fierce exchange of barbs during what she characterized as an intense rap battle didn't cross any legal boundaries. In fact, she went so far as to describe portions of Drake's argument as logically incoherent. The lawsuit itself, which Drake initiated earlier this year, https://billboard.com/pro-drake-sues UMG defamation Kendrick Lamar lawsuit, made the bold assertion that UMG had defamed him by distributing Lamar's brutal diss track. The song infamously branded Drake as a certified pedophile, a label Drake's legal team argued was taken as literal truth by millions of listeners, causing irreparable damage to his public image and reputation. Related, but here's the part most people miss. Barely 10 months after the case was filed, Judge Vargas granted UMG's request to dismiss the entire lawsuit right from the starting gate. Her reasoning? Kendrick's inflammatory lyrics fell squarely into the category of hyperbole. The kind of exaggerated, over-the-top language that can't legally be considered defamatory, because reasonable people wouldn't interpret them as factual statements. The back-and-forth 7-track rap battle between these artists represented a war of words that attracted massive media attention and sparked countless online conversations. Judge Vargas explained in her written decision, while accusing someone of being a pedophile is undeniably a grave allegation, when you consider the full context, a heated rap battle filled with inflammatory language and offensive accusations being thrown by both sides, a reasonable listener wouldn't conclude that Not Like Us is presenting verifiable, factual information about the plaintiff. This ruling brings a sudden and dramatic conclusion to a legal saga that left the music industry absolutely stunned. Let's be honest, virtually nobody anticipated that a rapper would respond to a diss track by filing a lawsuit, a decision that sparked widespread mockery within hip-hop circles. https://music/RB hip-hop/Drake lawsuit Kendrick Lamar hip-hop beef Not Like Us 12358766761. And drew sharp criticism from legal experts. https://billboard.com/pro/Drake lawsuit Kendrick Lamar's lyrics legal scholars warning. Even more shocking was Drake's choice to sue UMG, not only his own longtime record label, but also the most powerful music corporation on the planet. Drake's legal team does have the option to challenge this decision by appealing to a federal appeals court. As of now, his attorneys haven't responded to requests for comment on the ruling. In an official statement provided to Billboard, a UMG spokesperson declared, "This lawsuit was an insult to all artists and their right to creative expression from the very beginning, and it never should have been filed in the first place. We're extremely pleased with the court's decision to dismiss it, and are excited to continue our successful work promoting Drake's music and supporting his career moving forward." Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us last May during the height of a verbal warfare with Drake that witnessed both UMG-signed superstars unleashing a succession of devastating diss tracks. The song served as a decisive knockout blow, branding Drake as a certified pedophile over an undeniably catchy beat. It didn't just make waves, it became a chart-dominating smash hit in its own right, and ultimately took home 5 Grammy Awards, including the prestigious Record of the Year and Song of the Year honors. In January, Drake made the highly unconventional decision to take UMG to court, alleging that his own record label had defamed him by artificially inflating the track's popularity through questionable means, including the deployment of bots and other dubious marketing strategies. The lawsuit, which notably didn't list Lamar himself as a defendant, claimed that UMG had orchestrated a campaign targeting its own artist to propagate a malicious narrative about pedophilia that the company knew was completely false. UMG fired back, arguing that these accusations were obviously without merit, that exaggerated insults and venomous allegations are standard operating procedure in diss tracks and can't serve as the foundation for a defamation case. The company made a particularly pointed observation. Drake himself was perfectly comfortable launching similar attacks, including accusing Lamar of domestic violence, right up until he found himself on the losing end of the battle. And this is the part most people miss. The conflict escalated to an entirely new level in February when Lamar made Not Like Us the focal point of his Super Bowl halftime performance. https://billboard.com/music/RB-hiphop/Kendrick Lamar 2025 Super Bowl halftime show most watched all time 12358995552. After widespread speculation about whether he'd even perform the controversial track, Kendrick used the massive platform to openly taunt his opponent, staring directly into the camera while rapping the line, "Say Drake, I hear you like 'em young." In her Thursday ruling, Judge Vargas sided completely with UMG's position, determining that ordinary listeners wouldn't expect accurate factual reporting from a diss track that's overflowing with profanity, trash talk, violent threats, and figurative and exaggerated language. She specifically highlighted that Drake himself had participated in identical behavior, citing a line from his track Family Matters, where he strongly suggests that Lamar is a domestic abuser, and another verse where Drake claims he's heard rumors that one of Lamar's children might not be biologically his. This recording was released as part of an intensely heated public dispute, during which both participants traded increasingly harsh, inflammatory insults and accusations. Judge Vargas wrote in her opinion, "This is exactly the type of situation where an audience would reasonably expect the use of harsh language, fiery rhetoric, or exaggeration rather than factual claims." The judge also dismissed Drake's arguments concerning the massive popularity of Not Like Us, stating she couldn't engage in that kind of backward-looking analysis of artistic expression. She emphasized that when Kendrick created his song, he couldn't possibly have known it would later shatter streaming records, win multiple Grammy Awards, or become the centerpiece of a Super Bowl halftime show. Yet the plaintiff wants the court to separate the recording from the context in which it was originally created, simply because of these events that happened afterward, Judge Vargas wrote. Whether statements constitute actionable fact or protected opinion can't change based on how popular they become. Constitutional protections don't rest on such an unstable foundation. But here's where it gets controversial. The judge was equally unimpressed with Drake's assertion that the song transformed into defamatory material because UMG repeatedly republished it and actively drove its commercial success. This argument is logically incoherent, the judge stated bluntly. If the recording was protected opinion when it was originally produced, then republishing it wouldn't create liability for UMG. Daily newsletters straight to your inbox. Sign up https://cloud.email.billboard.com/signup. More from Pro. So here's the million-dollar question. Did Drake make a massive mistake by taking this to court? Or does he have a legitimate point that got lost in the legal technicalities? Should there be limits to what artists can say about each other in diss tracks? Or is this exactly the kind of creative expression that deserves absolute protection? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the judge got this right? Or is this a dangerous precedent for artists who get targeted with serious allegations?